You're watching Let's Chat.
Welcome back and good morning. As we get into the rest of spring, summer not far behind, a lot of people are making travel plans. And if you're traveling internationally or maybe even right here in the U.S., there are some things that you need to know that you may not have thought of. Thankfully, our next guest has thought of them. It is Dr. Richard Moody with Chattanooga Family Practice. Dr. Moody, good morning.
Good morning.
You are a travel clinic, which a lot of people are unfamiliar with that term. What is a travel clinic?
Right, so travel clinic is a place where we have seasoned, knowledgeable professionals that can guide international travelers, especially in figuring out what they need for the trip that they're going on. So this may be as simple as just giving some advice for their particular itinerary to needing prescription medications or even vaccinations for that.
For example, a coworker of ours a few weeks ago, he and his wife went to Mexico. If you're traveling to Mexico, what advice would you give somebody who comes to the clinic?
Yeah, so it depends on a lot of locations are very specific for what the itinerary is going to be. Are you just going to be on the beach? Are you going to be in Mexico City?
Right.
Are you going to be climbing a mountain? And so we can help you sort out what your risks are for that particular itinerary, because depending on the place, you may need some specific vaccinations.
Give me an example of some places where you may be traveling that you would need vaccinations.
Yeah, I had a lady who was traveling to Uganda, and to Uganda to visit family, and Uganda requires yellow fever vaccines in order to enter the country, and so you just can't get in there without it unless you have a special exemption. And so we're one of the very few providers of yellow fever in the entire region.
I would hate to think, but I'm sure there's been somebody that has made a destination like that, perhaps not Uganda. They get there and they don't have the necessary vaccinations.
It can be a real mess.
They're hosed.
Yes, right.
All right.
Yeah.
If you are going to plan a vacation and you think you might need some sort of guidance in that, is there any online or preliminary paperwork that we need to do before we come see you?
Yeah, so the CDC actually has a wonderful site, cdc.gov/travel, and you put in your destination and it gives you wonderful preliminary advice on where you're going. Now sometimes it's almost too much advice and
Right.
it can be a little confusing.
And that's where you could help come in.
And that's where we come in.
Help separate the wheat from the chaff. One or two other questions here. I know with everything that's going on in Ukraine and in Russia, there are people from here who are going to either do mission work or to volunteer. We'll begin with Ukraine. Are there any sort of extra vaccinations or medications, or maybe even more importantly, advice you would give them?
Yeah, especially if you're going to be in a disrupted area where there may not be a certain or safe water supply or even food supply. You certainly may need to take some medications in case you get some type of traveler's diarrhea.
Right.
And so that's a basic. You also may need some vaccinations such as tetanus update and maybe even typhoid. So we can help you with that.
You don't just think of typhoid a lot these days with everything else that's going on, but it is still a clear and present danger.
It is. And so a lot of times people in Tennessee don't have to worry about that, so they think, well, I'm traveling somewhere, it looks like Tennessee, so I'll be fine. But that's not always the case, and so a little bit of prevention.
Yeah, certainly. What's the saying? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
That's right.
And again, it doesn't take long to get in and see Dr. Moody at Chattanooga Family Practice, and you can save yourself a whole lot of headache by spending just a few minutes at Chattanooga Family Practice. Dr. Richard Moody, thanks so much for joining us. I do hope you'll come back in the future. And just to make it abundantly clear, we're going to give you the website for Dr. Moody here in just a moment. But these vaccines aren't nearly as painful as they were 20 or 30 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, it's a new world.
It's a whole lot easier to stomach the medicine. Check them out, chatfp.com. That is chatfp.com. We'll be right back after this with more Let's Chat.